Have you ever felt so tired that even sleep could not heal it? Not just tired in your body, but exhausted deep down in your soul. You still wake up every morning, still do everything you have to do, but on the inside, you feel empty, as if you are running and never reaching the finish line. As if you are carrying an invisible weight on your shoulders that no one can see and no one can help you set down. If that is true of you, you are not alone. In the world today, exhaustion has become a silent epidemic. We get swept into an endless cycle. Work piles up, responsibilities never run out, expectations weigh us down. Worries gnaw at our minds even in the hours that were meant for rest. And then we wonder why we always feel tired, no matter how much we sleep. But the saddest part is that so many people have learned to live with exhaustion. They think it is the price they have to pay to survive. They believe they must be strong, must carry everything, must push through it all on their own. They wear their weariness like a badge and secretly long for something that could give them real peace. So what if I told you that Jesus made a promise specifically for those who are worn out? Not for the strong, not for those who already have everything under control, but for those who are weary, those who are burdened, those who feel they have no strength left to keep going. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, Jesus spoke one of the most gentle and comforting lines in all of Scripture. He said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." Let those words sink into your heart. This is not a harsh command. This is not a rebuke. It is an invitation, a promise, an open arm, reaching out to those who have run out of strength. Today, we are going to explore this promise of Jesus more deeply and discover what it means for your own life right now. By the end of this video, perhaps for the first time in a long while, your soul may find a little peace. Let us begin. The first truth, Jesus' invitation is to come, not to try harder. Notice the first thing Jesus says. He does not say, try harder. He does not say, fix yourself first and then come. He does not say, be strong, get through it on your own. What he says is simply, come to me. This is profoundly important because most of us are used to thinking in the exact opposite way. When we feel exhausted, our first reaction is usually to push even harder. We think that if we just work more diligently, organize better, or try a little more, everything will be fine. We respond to exhaustion by piling more weight onto ourselves. But Jesus shows us another way. He does not invite us to a program, a to-do list, or a new set of rules. He invites us to a person, to himself, because the rest your soul longs for is not found in doing more, but in a relationship. And notice who he invites. He invites those who are weary and burdened. In other words, you do not have to fix yourself before coming to him. You do not have to pretend that you are fine. You do not have to wait until you are stronger. Jesus invites you to come to him just as you are right now, with all your weariness, with all your burdens, with all the wounds you are carrying. How many of us keep our distance from God simply because we think we are not good enough to come near him? We think we have to tidy up our lives first. We think we have to be stronger, holier, with fewer problems. But that is a complete misunderstanding. Jesus does not call the healthy. He calls those who need to be healed. So if you feel exhausted today, listen to this invitation. You do not have to try harder. You do not have to strain any longer. You only have to come to Jesus exactly as you are and let him do the rest. Notice that this invitation is very simple, yet for many people, it is very hard to accept. Because to come to Jesus, we have to admit that we cannot manage on our own. We have to humble ourselves. We have to let go of the ego that always wants to prove that we are strong and can handle everything. For those who are used to standing on their own, admitting they need help can be the hardest thing of all. But it is in the very moment we admit our weakness that we open our hearts to receive his strength. It is when we stop trying to carry everything that we feel his shoulders holding us up. Coming to Jesus is not a sign of failure. It is the wisest thing a weary soul can do. The second truth, the rest Jesus promises is rest for the soul. When Jesus promises rest, he is not only talking about a good night's sleep or a long vacation. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 29, he makes it clearer, and you will find rest for your souls. This is something we really need to understand. There is a kind of tiredness that no sleep can heal. There is a kind of exhaustion that lies deeper than the body. It is the weariness of the soul. You can sleep 8 hours every night and still wake up feeling empty. You can go on vacation to a beautiful place and still not find peace in your heart. Because the root of that weariness is not in the body, but in the soul. Our souls grow weary. For many reasons, we are tired from constantly trying to prove our worth. We are tired from carrying guilt and shame that we do not know how to let go of. We are tired from worrying about things we cannot control. We are tired from trying to please everyone. We are tired from searching for meaning and peace in places that can never give them to us. The world offers many solutions to this weariness. It tells us to buy more, achieve more, own more. It tells us to lose ourselves in pleasures and distractions. But all of those things are only temporary painkillers. They may mask the pain for a moment, but they never touch the root of the problem. Only Jesus can give our souls true rest, because he reaches the very root of that weariness. When you come to him, he lifts away the burden of sin. He removes the pressure to prove yourself. He gives you the assurance that you are loved, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. He lets you know that you do not have to carry the whole world on your shoulders, because there is one greater who holds all things. Rest for the soul is a deep peace that does not depend on circumstances. It is a rest that can exist even when work is still piling up, even when difficulties are still present. Because it does not come from every problem being solved, but from knowing that you are in the hands of one who can be trusted. If your soul is weary today, remember that Jesus does not just want to give you a little rest. He wants to give you a deep rest, a peace for your very soul, something that nothing in this world can buy. Think of the difference between switching off a machine and healing a soul. When you switch off a machine, it only stops for a moment, and when you turn it back on, it is exactly the same as before. But when Jesus gives rest to your soul, he does not just give you a pause. He heals the places that have cracked inside you. He restores what has been drained. He renews your heart from within. That is why so many people can find peace even in the most difficult circumstances. Not because their circumstances are easy, but because their souls have been placed in true rest. They have found something deeper than temporary relief. They have found rest in God himself. The third truth, Jesus invites us to take his yoke. Right after the promise of rest, Jesus says something that sounds like a paradox. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 11, verse 29, he says, "Take my yoke upon you and learn from me." Then he finishes in verse 30, "For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." At first, this is hard to understand. We are already weary from carrying too many burdens. So why would Jesus tell us to take on another yoke? Is not what we need to lay every burden down? To understand this, we need to know what a yoke is. In the time of Jesus, a yoke was a wooden beam placed over the shoulders of 2 oxen so they could pull a plow together. The important thing is that a yoke was usually made for 2 animals, not 1. When a young ox was being trained, it was often yoked together with an older, stronger, more experienced ox. The older ox carried the heaviest part and led the younger one in the right direction. Do you see this beautiful picture? When Jesus tells us to take his yoke, he is not telling us to carry more alone. He is inviting us to step into the same yoke with him. He is saying that He will be right beside you, pulling with you, leading you in the right direction. That is exactly why His yoke is easy and His burden is light, not because there is no burden, but because you no longer have to carry it alone. This is the difference between the yoke of the world and the yoke of Jesus. The world piles burdens on your shoulders and then leaves you to figure it all out yourself. It demands that you be perfect, be successful, endlessly prove your worth, but it never helps you carry those burdens. Jesus is different. He invites you to walk with Him, to learn from Him, and to let Him share the load with you. Jesus also says to learn from Him, because He is gentle and humble in heart. This is worth reflecting on. So many of our burdens come from pride, from the need to control everything, from refusing to admit that we need help. But when we learn the humility of Jesus, we learn how to let go, how to trust, and how to let God do what we cannot do ourselves. So taking the yoke of Jesus does not mean carrying more. It means exchanging your lonely, exhausting burden for His companionship and strength. It is an invitation to step out of the solitary struggle and step into a life walked alongside the one who loves you. Think of the difference this makes. When two oxen carry the same yoke, they have to walk in the same rhythm. If the young ox keeps pulling against it, trying to go its own way, the yoke becomes painful and heavy. But when it learns to walk in step with the leading ox, everything becomes much lighter. The secret is not to pull harder, but to walk in rhythm with the one who leads. The Christian life is the same. So much of our weariness comes from constantly pulling against God, wanting to go our own way, wanting to control things our own way. But when we learn to walk in His rhythm, when we let Him lead instead of trying to lead ourselves, we discover that the burden truly becomes lighter. Not because the road's smoother, but because we are no longer fighting against the one who is carrying it with us. The fourth truth: rest is not laziness, but something God designed for you. One of the reasons so many people burn out is that they feel guilty whenever they rest. They believe that if they stop, even for a moment, they are being lazy, wasting time, failing. So they keep pushing forward, never daring to rest, until their bodies and souls completely break down. But when we look at the life of Jesus, we see something astonishing. Even Jesus, the Son of God, rested. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, when the disciples returned from a season of hard work, Jesus said to them, "Come away by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest." Jesus noticed that the disciples were weary, and He actively invited them to rest. Scripture also shows us many times when Jesus withdrew from the crowds to be alone and to pray. He rose early in the morning, went to a quiet place, and stayed there with His Father. And there was a remarkable moment when Jesus was fast asleep in a boat while a storm was rising. He was so tired that He slept soundly, even as the wind and waves raged around Him. If Jesus Himself needed rest, then why do we think we can live without it? God did not design human beings to run nonstop like machines. He created us with a need to rest, to recover, to be renewed. In fact, from the very beginning of creation, God established the principle of rest. After making the heavens and the earth in 6 days, on the seventh day He rested. Not because He was tired, but to set an example and establish a pattern for us. Later, Jesus said something very important in the Gospel of Mark, chapter 2. The Sabbath was made for man, not man for the Sabbath. Do you hear the tenderness in those words? Rest is not a harsh rule meant to bind you. It is a gift that God gives for your good. He knows that you need rest. He knows that you cannot keep giving endlessly without being filled again. So if you feel guilty for needing rest, let these words set you free. Rest is not a sign of weakness or laziness. It is part of the wisdom God has placed within your life. When you take time to rest, to be with God, to restore your soul, you are not wasting time. You are living exactly the way your Creator designed you to live. The fifth truth: learn from Mary rather than Martha. There is a story in the Gospel of Luke, chapter 10, that speaks very directly to our exhaustion. It is the story of two sisters, Martha and Mary. One day Jesus came to visit their home. Martha, the older sister, immediately busied herself with preparing and serving. But Mary, the younger sister, sat at the feet of Jesus and listened to his words. Martha grew more and more resentful. She was doing all the work while her sister just sat there. Finally, she came to Jesus and complained, "Lord, do you not care that my sister has left me to serve alone? Tell her to help me." Can you imagine Martha's stress and exhaustion? She was trying to do something good. She wanted to serve Jesus, but in the middle of her busy serving, she had lost the very thing that mattered most: being with him. Jesus answered with loving gentleness, "Martha, Martha, you are worried and troubled about many things, but only one thing is needed. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her." This story touches a deep truth about our exhaustion. So often, we are weary not because we are doing wrong, but because we are busy with too many good things, so busy that we forget the most important thing of all. Like Martha, we are worried and troubled about many things. We rush from one task to the next, trying to make everything perfect until we are completely worn out. But Jesus reminds us that only one thing is truly needed. It is to sit at his feet. It is to be with him. It is to place our relationship with him above all our busy work. What is striking is that Jesus did not rebuke Martha for serving. Serving is a good thing, but he pointed out that Martha had let her serving pull her away from the very one she was serving. She was so busy working for the Lord that she had no time left to be with the Lord. Perhaps this is exactly what you need to hear today. Maybe your exhaustion does not come from doing too little, but from forgetting to spend time sitting at the feet of Jesus. Maybe what you need is not to try harder, but to stop and once again place him at the center of your life. Because when you are with him first, everything else finds its proper place. Notice one more subtle thing in this story. Martha was not only weary from work, she had also grown bitter and resentful. Her exhaustion began to damage her relationships. She started comparing herself to her sister. She started casting blame. This is what often happens when we burn out without being restored. Weariness not only drains our strength, it also sours our souls. We become easily irritated, easily hurt, quick to resent those around us. That is why sitting at the feet of Jesus is not a luxury, but a necessity. When we regularly return to him, our souls are filled again. And out of a filled heart, we can serve, love, and give without running dry. Mary chose what is better, not because she was lazy, but because she understood that true strength comes from being with the Lord first. The sixth truth: hand your burdens over to him and trust him. Finally, the deepest rest comes from learning to hand our burdens over to God and truly trust him. So many of us carry burdens that we were never meant to carry. We cling to worries, fears, and problems and try to solve them all on our own. We act as though everything depends on us, as though if we let go, everything will fall apart. But Jesus invites us to a different way of living. He invites us to give those burdens to him, because he is strong enough to carry what we cannot. He is wise enough to solve what we do not understand. He is loving enough to care for the things we worry about. Handing our burdens to God does not mean we become passive or irresponsible. It means we do our part and then trust him with the rest. It means we stop trying to control things that are beyond our reach. It means we admit that we are not God and that this is perfectly okay. Think about the burden you are carrying right now. Maybe it is a financial worry. Maybe it is a broken relationship. Maybe it is a fear about the future, an illness, a difficult decision, or a wound from the past. Whatever it is, Jesus is saying to you today, come to me, and I will give you rest. You do not have to carry that burden for even one more day. You do not have to pretend that you are strong enough to bear it all yourself. You can come to Jesus, lay it all down at his feet, and let him carry what you could never carry. And here is the wonderful promise. When you hand your burden over to him, he does not just take the burden away. He also gives you his peace in return. He fills your empty soul. He restores your drained strength. He reminds you that you are loved, that you are seen, and that you are never alone. So we have explored 6 truths in the promise Jesus made to those who are worn out. Let us say them once more so that these words sink deep into your heart. Jesus' invitation is to come, not to try harder. You can come to him just as you are right now. The rest he promises is rest for the soul, a deep peace that nothing in the world can buy. He invites us to take his yoke, not to carry more, but so that we no longer have to carry it alone. Rest is not laziness, but a gift God designed for your good. Learn from Mary, placing time with the Lord above the endless rush of busyness. And finally, hand your burdens over to him and trust that he is strong enough to carry them for you. Do you notice one thread running through all of these truths? In everything Jesus says, he always points us to himself. The rest you long for is not a state, a technique, or a circumstance. That rest is a person. It is Jesus himself. The world will always try to tell you that peace lies somewhere ahead, in the next promotion, in the next achievement, when you finally get everything done. But the truth is, the to-do list will never end. There will always be more to do. If you wait until everything is perfect to let yourself rest, you will wait forever. Jesus offers a different way. He says that you can find rest right now, right in the middle of the unfinished, right in the middle of your burdens. Not by escaping from life, but by coming to him within it. So if you are exhausted today, if you are weary to the very depths of your soul, take a moment right now to come to Jesus. You do not need to say elaborate words. You only need to come, just as you are. Tell him that you are weary. Tell him about the burdens you are carrying, and let his promise wash over you. Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. The same one who carried you through every trial in your past is fully able to hold you up right now. You do not have to carry this life alone. You have never had to carry it alone. If this message has encouraged you, please like this video, share it with someone who feels exhausted and needs rest, and subscribe to the channel to keep receiving content that builds up your faith each week. May God give you true rest for your soul and cover you with his peace. I will see you in the next video.